Hi friends, today I finally got to do the diversity presentation I spoke about in my previous video to one of the head HR representatives, and I don't think it went really well. Uh, I know it didn't really go well, and there's a few issues that occurred that made it not go well. Firstly, I only had 20 minutes to explain and introduce a topic that is very complex and complicated. But besides that, the second issue was I didn't know my audience enough. I didn't understand their expectations of me. And their expectations were that I would be working on learning the ins and outs of the sales and operations of the group and division I was in, not preparing diversity presentation for HR. And so I think that was a big surprise when suddenly this they were told that I was gonna do a little quick presentation for them. I think there was also a little bit of miscommunication, but it's okay. Anyway, so that expectation right there off the bat, kind of I was coming in uh, from a bad position. Also, there was the issue of right now the company's struggling just like any other company in this COVID situation, and when a company is having a rough time with anything, diversity usually becomes a really low priority. And for me, I still wanted to take this opportunity to at least introduce and talk about it. I don't, I thought that could still be okay, but I think another big issue was the timing. One of the comments I remember receiving was that, you know, diversity is all good and well if a company's making money and has the money, time, and resources to uh, invest in it. But if a company is struggling to maintain the business and its employees, uh, that's something uh, we can't do. And it's hard to argue against that. I could understand. Of course, I don't think that that allows for discrimination towards minorities of any kind, but that's not happening. And another issue that just reminded me, what they mentioned to me, which kind of hit me, was that they felt they were doing all right. That this whole diversity topic that I was explaining to them, they felt that they were doing it, and that's why the company has survived for so long and is everyone's happy working there. And so the fact that I'm bringing up the topic of diversity, even if I wasn't attacking, or at least I don't think I was, it could be interpreted as what you've been doing all these decades uh, is wrong. And so I think part of it was that they felt it as an attack on their culture. Personally, I still think it's necessary and I do still see issues, but uh, when you're talking to people who think they've been living in the right way for decades and suddenly kind of introduce a new topic that is new, uh, they are very cautious and may take it as an attack, even if it isn't. I made sure for this diversity presentation to approach it in a positive light. I tried to kind of introduce diversity as at its base explanation of how it's differences in a given setting. So more specifically, it's the differences in experiences of each individual. And I tried to explain how those can uh, bring about positive effects for both businesses, the business and the culture. But yeah, even then, I think they were feeling really cautious and feeling attacked, on top of all the other issues I was talking about. So I don't know. I it In the end, there was no next, what's next. I prepared what could be next to give them ideas, but they just said thank you and then left. And I mean, it wasn't that rude, of course, but um, it was over, and I don't think there's going to be any follow up. Not gonna lie, I felt a bit down and sad about it, but I thought about it, and it's okay. It's totally fine. I just need to rethink, replan, and figure out a better timing. And I understand even better now that they have a lot more expectation in regards to what I am doing in the division group I am working in right now. And I think one of the issues is that they haven't been able to see what I've been doing or see the results of what I've done so far. Because for me, I feel like I've done exactly what they want plus more, because I want to make sure that I go above and beyond what is expected of me, and I've optimized the processes. I've learned and created a flow chart of everything and manuals of all of the operations, and so not it would benefit not just me but for anyone else who decides to join and learn. But they didn't know any of that. Of course they wouldn't, because I haven't told them. And so anyways, I think that's what I'm going to try to focus on a little bit more, maybe on figuring out how to create examples that they could see and appreciate, so that my ideas and uh, initiatives will hold more weight later on when I try to introduce diversity and my other ideas again in the future. But yeah, that was kind of my day, and I still think I have a lot to think about, so I think I'm gonna go run and think. But yeah, thanks for listening as always, and I'll catch you guys up another time. Bye.